Welcome to the Oboe School. This space is for oboists who are looking to improve. Oboists that want to gain admission to music school, oboe educators that are looking for best practices, and for oboists who I describe as being in their second wave. Perhaps they've played for many, many years, but they find themselves in their time of life where they have a little bit more resources, they have more time, more desire to pour into playing the oboe. This space is for you. My name is Erin Brophy. I am the principal oboe player of the Saskatoon Symphony and a sessional lecturer at the University of Saskatchewan. Why have I created this oboe school? Well, it has a lot to do with how I got started on the instrument. Now, I've been playing professionally for more than 25 years, and I've been teaching just as long. And I love teaching. The reason that I love to teach has a lot to do with the beginning part of my journey on the oboe. I'm from a really remote place in Canada. A beautiful place full of rocks and trees and crystal clean lakes. And I loved growing up there until I started to play the oboe. And that's when I realized that where I lived was really remote. I did not have access to good information. I did not have access to a community of oboists. I did not have access to functioning reeds or functioning instrument. And for that reason, I really struggled. My band directors and music teachers did the best they could, but they just didn't have the specific information needed in order for me to improve on the instrument. And I loved playing the oboe, but I realized that I just didn't sound like the recordings. And I had no idea how to get there. Now, if you fast forward a long time, I look back at the beginning and part of my journey, and I realized, even in music school, that my experience did not have to be that challenging because, quite honestly, there were many points in my development as an oboe player that I almost gave up. It was just too hard. And I felt like I was just bumping my head against a really large brick wall. And now that I help others with their oboe playing journey, I realize that it doesn't have to be that difficult. It doesn't have to be that challenging. There is a way to improve on the instrument that can bring you tremendous joy and satisfaction. And those are two things that I did not experience in my development as an oboist. I don't want you to have to suffer the way that I did. So that is why I'm creating this space called the Oboe School. Now, I think that one of the massive differences between little Erin Brophy trying to learn the oboe in northern Canada is that we have this amazing resource called the internet. And so it is possible to get really great and deep information. It's possible to share that information. It's also possible to create community across borders and across the world. And it's very close to my heart and to my music making to try to help oboe players everywhere. I feel really blessed that I had access to such amazing pedagogy. It was a privilege for me to be in the room with such remarkable pedagogues. I reflect, though, that in that room, there were very few people. And the people that had access to this pedagogy, they were people who had auditioned. They were people that had expressed a desire to become a professional musician. And there were very few of us in this room. And I understand why. Performing oboists do not have a lot of time. I understand why that is the way it is. But I just don't think it has to be that way. And I have had this privilege and access to this pedagogy, and I want to get that information out there. I want your journey on the instrument to be a lot easier than mine was. I'm so glad you're here. So the Oboe School, we have a weekly Q&A where I show up and I show up with my expertise and my open heart. And really, these live master classes are dirigés. They are connected. They are directed by the oboe players that show up. And so I just ask, what do you want to talk about? And we've delved into so many different subjects. Things that we discuss have a lot to do with all of the physical aspects of the instrument, approach to the instrument. For example, many oboists think that they just need to find better reeds and they will find the consistency in their playing that they're looking for, and that is simply not true. Or that creating a beautiful sound on the oboe rests solely on the reed. Also not true. We talk about performance anxiety. We talk about building solid practice habits. We delve into improving your finger technique, your articulation, your dynamics, the third octave, double tonguing, circular breathing, you name it. And whatever you have a question about, I'd be happy to dive into with you. If you can't make it to the weekly masterclass, there is a recording. You can always watch it at your leisure. And I think most importantly, it's a community of kind and supportive people who are all trying to improve on the instrument. I know that I leave every week with a heart full of inspiration, and I take it into my practicing, and it's something that's really, really meaningful to me. Any question you might have on the oboe, I would love to help you. So join this Oboe School group and let's all become the oboe players that everyone wants to play with. The oboe players we are meant to be. Play the oboe with joy and ease. And I look forward to meeting you soon.